Welcome on back to the channel, everybody. I'm Kiki. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I did finally get the Lyme disease diagnosis. It definitely wasn't easy. So when I first started the whole journey, I know I had talked a little bit about it previously. My husband's cousin's, I believe, daughter, she was experiencing a lot of the different symptoms that I was having as well. So he was like, that sure sounds a lot like you. So being in Arizona, it was definitely thought that it wasn't there, which we've now discovered that yes, it is all over the world. It's everywhere. So I did find something called a Lyme literate doctor. You would go to the ILADS website, which was ilads.com, and that would show you all the different Lyme literate doctors. The only one in Arizona, or at least the only one in my area, she was only natural. She didn't give any sort of antibiotics. She didn't give anything but supplements. And I didn't do a blood test. I don't remember doing a blood test in Arizona. She just said, oh yeah, that sounds like you. Let's start testing for it, or let's start treating it. So she gave me all of these like little droppers full of very expensive natural supplements that did absolutely nothing for me, and they tasted horrendous. So then fast forward a couple of years, we moved to New York, and I did find another doctor through the iLads website, and she was like, yeah, it does sound like that's the case for you, but let's do some blood tests. I did the Western blot, and she did warn me. She said, it's not very accurate. The CDC likes to say it's very accurate, but it's not. I got a false negative. She said, don't get worked up. Don't fret. We'll do another one. There's another thing called the IGeneX test, which is very expensive. I did test positive for that, Bartonella. I didn't test positive for Babesia, but she did say it sounds a lot like it. It's another thing you're not always going to get a positive. So she did start treating me for all of that, and it didn't seem to do the trick. But I'm at the point where I think I'm so far gone that I don't know that much is going to help. But if we catch it early enough, you can be treated. Then fast forward a couple of years, we moved up here to the DMV area, and I did a couple of other blood tests, and I also had to get my blood cultured and sent over to, I believe, Belgium, because the test that they have to do is not legal in the States. So they take a culture and they examine the different steps of it. I don't know the exact science of it, but it did come back very positive for tick-borne relapsing fever and all of the good Borrelia stuff, which is Lyme disease. I also did a urine test, which they sent over to one of the colleges up here, but they've since lost that grant and that they can't do that anymore. But they did find I have tick-borne relapsing fever through the urine test. So no, you don't have to go based off of any sort of blood test. You don't have to go based off of anything urine. It is pretty much if you do have a bullseye, the bullseye rash, they're going to treat you with, I believe, 2 weeks of doxycycline, and they say that you should be good, which in theory, if you catch it fast enough, that should be all right. But if you don't get the bullseye, then it's definitely a lot harder, and they do go pretty much based off of symptoms. Not all of your tests are going to be positive, and that doesn't mean that's not the case. So if you do get a whole bunch of negatives and nothing else is coming back, it might be. Just definitely trust your doctor, trust your gut. You are your best advocate. And I hope that any of these videos are going to help you. So thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.